Well, I bought this behemoth here thinking to use it to somewhat as a moving van and temporary residence while looking for land. However, I've had some issues with it. The automotive electrical I mentioned in a previous video is the automotive electrical on this. However, it has some problems. One of which is something fairly recent, and it's that. It actually looked like somebody had thrown a rock and hit it right there, or taken a hammer and done it. And now every time I open the door, more glass falls out. It isn't a Tasca Sunflower. It's a 1989. I'm going up there, so be back in a sec. I forgot, one of the previous owners or somebody took the lower half of the ladder off, so got out a ladder, and I'm actually going to go up the side instead of the back here. Well, I got a short ladder. I don't actually need to get on the roof. I just want to show something. This is the roof seam on this RV. Somebody has obviously tried to seal it before, and it doesn't work. I actually had to replace the vent that's under that cover there, and now I'm going to have to, there was no vent when I got it. Now I'm going to do this. I've actually ordered just now some Eternabond roof seal tape, 4-inch. I'm going to have to clean all this. I thought these were further in and I'd do it under, have to take off the solar panel, but I don't. But I'm going to have to clean all the silicone off the roof here. But I'm going to wait till I get the Eternabond. I'm also going to put probably some Alex Plus latex caulk before I put the Eternabond on. And why they didn't put the seam here instead of here is beyond me, but that's my plan. I was going to get started on the window, and I may still do that later. The Eternabond's not going to be here for a few days, and while we had a few cool days last week, it's back up into the upper 90s, 100 plus. So we'll see how soon I get the seams done on the roof. There's also a seam at the front which somebody's made a mess of. I'm probably gonna have to take a putty knife to clean all that off there, as well as a seam at the rear which I haven't looked at and I don't even want to. This solar panel is obviously old. It was originally, I believe, a 100-watt panel or something. The RV's an 89 and it probably is the same year. Yeah, the rear seam is as bad as the front. Well, not quite. But I don't have to take that off, that's good. It does charge the batteries. I replaced all the lighting inside with LED instead of the fluorescent or the incandescent. So that's enough for that, for sure. Right now, it's because it has the mechanical or the engine electrical issues, it's sitting until I can get that figured out. It needs a whole new fuse block and harness, but I can't find a replacement, and it needs special plugs to power the RV side, the coach side. So I'm gonna have to probably rebuild the one that was in it. I've already taken it out, tried to do a replacement, and it wouldn't work. And I think the whole reason that it had issues was the previous owner, or one of the previous owners, tried hot wiring directly from the battery into the fuse block in a shunt and blew out the back of it. And I think the reason that they did it was because they blew a fusible link or a relay, or who knows what. There were a lot of issues on the electrical on this, and so far the only one that I can think of that I haven't, on the engine part, the only one I haven't got resolved is the fuse block and the fusible link, if that's indeed the problem, and I need to replace one relay. It's a Bosch style, but Bosch doesn't make them anymore. Interesting thing. But that's where I'm going to go next. I think is replace this seal here, and if I can actually do it from a ladder, I think that'll be easier. I may have to do something around where I put that vent cover on the new vent on as well. I'll have to look at that. It doesn't look very good, but I'll take a closer look. For now, thanks for watching. In the next few days, maybe even this evening, I'll start trying to do something with that window. It's an expensive replacement in the $200 to $300 to $400 to $500 range, and to think that somebody just put a rock or a hammer through it, that's kind of distressing. I've got a sheet of aluminum left over from another project. It's a wrap coil. I think it's 019. I'm not for sure on that. All I've got is a few feet of it left, not the box, but I think I have enough that I can cover that glass at least and go from there. I'm just getting a rough measurement for this window replacement. It looks like I need to be about 22 by 24 inches, and then I can knock more glass out. I'll actually put it on the inside because the glass is 1/8 inch, and it is laminated safety glass, which makes it more expensive. It's 1/8 inch glass, and I only have, I think, 0.19 aluminum that I'm going to use to fill that spot. It's just some trim coil, like I said. Pretty expensive for somebody to just maliciously break this window, but oh well, I'll get something fixed. Well, I got out the trim coil, and well, can't see it. Put the caliper on it, and it's actually reading about 16 thousandths instead of 19 thousandths. Doesn't really matter. I just wanted to see what it was. I think it's supposed to be 19 thousandths. I got between where it's at now and about 18.5, depending on where I put the caliper and how tight I squoze them. So it's close. It is a 24-inch wide trim coil, and I think I'm actually going to cut two 22-inch pieces, as I think I've got enough. Just test. Yeah, I've only got 44 and about 3/8 of an inch, so I think I will just cut two. It's pretty hammered. It's been rubbing against something there, and but that got to find my snips, and that'll be the beginning of the project. The Eternabond tape, I believe it's supposed to be here on Wednesday. But since I've got this trim coil, the scrap here, I'm going to use it first. Well, I've got out a Sharpie and marked these. This side's a little bent, but it'll still work because I've got rounded corners at the top. Got that marked too. I'm going to have to get out my square and the utility knife. I will score this and bend it to cut it, not actually using the snips until it comes to those round corners. I couldn't even imagine doing a 24-inch cut with snips. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. But it's still really hot. We're in the upper 90s. It's early in the afternoon. Get out my old technology here, and Yeah, it's 2:10 in the afternoon. I'm gonna wait until probably 5 or so to do any more extensive work on this. I have a pair of carpenter squares. However, I couldn't find them, probably because they're only 2 feet long. They're behind something somewhere. I do have this yardstick. I'm going to use it as my straight edge to do the scoring on this. I did get those cut. I still need to get some finer measurements. I may actually have done these a bit big. Not quite sure yet. Not sure if I'll get to that tonight or not. I have some other things to do. I'm going to spray the Empress tree at Mom's again. That's this evening. Have to get to bed early. She's got her other eye being done tomorrow, the cataract, and they want it 7:30 or 6:30 this week when it was 7 last week. So I'm gonna see what I can get done before it gets too dark, and I have other things to do. But I think this is gonna be it for tonight. Thanks again for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or share.